Final Group 1 of the season on Sunday at Sha Tin, the Standard Chartered Champions and Chater Cup. 2,400 metres is the trip, and interestingly, it's only one of 3 races that we run at over that distance here in Hong Kong throughout the entire season. Very warm welcome to Racing Twin. I'm Andrew Lejeune. Pleased to say I'm joined here in the studio by our form analyst in Paul Lally and race caller Tom Wood as well. Tom, good lineup this year. We've got a great undercard as well, including the Sha Tin Vase.
Yeah, there's a lot to look forward to out at Sha Tin on Sunday afternoon with the final Group 1 of the season. Senior Toba, who won the main lead-up race, of course, the Queen Mother Memorial Cup. It was on a rain-affected track. There is maybe the possibility of a shower coming up at Sha Tin on Sunday afternoon, but not the rain we've seen in recent weeks, and the sprint race as well could be Group 1 as well. Yeah,
looking at the weather, Paul, there's a chance it might start raining early Sunday morning, but then possibly ease off through the course of the day. So we'll keep a watch on that. But outside of the big races, what are we looking at?
Well, there's no jackpots, but there's a really good undercard as well. There's a whole host of first starters. A lot of them have raced at various jurisdictions before they got here, and a whole host that haven't as well. A few that have come down from Chung Fa. So there's a lot of different form lines going into this meeting.
OK, well, we're going to look at the 2 main races on the show today. The Champions and Chater Cup comes up as race number 6, and then the Sha Tin Vase a little bit later on. 73, this is the meeting number of 88 for the campaign. We're on the A course, naturally, for a big day like this. So you can see the 2 group races there. Start off with the Griffins over the 1,200 metres. That's an interesting race with Circuit 9, who was so impressive on debut, going round again. But we'll look at the first of the big races, which comes at 3 o'clock Hong Kong time, which is the Champions and Chater Cup. Lineup looks like this. Russian Emperor heads the field. Of course, was brilliant, winning the Gold Cup earlier in the season on a yielding track. 5th to Romantic Roy last time out in the QE2, and that's the main form race. Kying Star finished 4th. Tourbillon Diamond was 2nd. That's Panfield, last year's winner, was in 3rd place. Columbus County ran 6th. Butterfield, where he was behind Senior Toba last time out, but gets a 13-pound turnaround at the weights for a 2-length beasting, and then down to Nordic Sky, who made all to win in Class 3 company. Now takes it as an easy Class 3 win as well. Now takes the big jump into Group 1 company for Tony Millard. Of course, also trains Panfield, the defending champion. So we'll have a look at the speed map first, Tom. We're saying good as far as the pace is concerned in the early stages. Where are we looking for the key runners?
Well, horses like Reliable Team, we know, likes to go forward. So he's, as his name suggests, he's a very reliable leader, Reliable Team. In the race as well, Nordic Sky, he led up over 2,000 metres last time out. Kying Star will probably have to press on with it. Start 40, he's having his first run here in Hong Kong over 2,400 metres. I wouldn't be surprised, Paul, with that pace in the race, that they might take Zabrowski back.
Yeah, they do mix his profile. They went forward last time and he ended up wide. 2,400 metres. Look, they will want a bit of pace on. I think it'll suit some of these back runners with this pace on. But Reliable Team, I think, you know, he's led over 2,400 metres every single start he's had here.
All right. We've got Russian Emperor and Butterfield at the back, and Panfield biding his time as well. We'll have a look at the Roll of Honour as far as the big race is concerned. Tom, you'll see the name A.S. Cruz crops up quite often.
Yes, Tony Cruz has been prolific in winning this race down through the years. Of course, Exultant Pakistan Star and several very good gallopers before that were there, going back to 2017. But Panfield looking to defend his crown from last year.
Yeah, he's won 7 of the last 9 in actual fact, Cruz. He's got Kying Star, of course, here. Look for ours. We'll be on board there. All right, where to start? Well, we'll have a look at many of the key races in a moment. We'll start off, though, with Joe Moreira out at track work this week, speaking about his mount, Senior Toba.
Joe Moreira, Senior Toba is your ride in the final Group 1 of the season. On the back of what he was able to do in the Queen Mother Memorial, he certainly looks at a live chance.
Oh, apparently. You're right. he did win the Queen Memorial Cup very impressively. He indicated to us that 2,400 metres is probably his best distance. The gear change that Casper put on, blinkers that Casper put on him, got him to do things much more straightforward, which I was extremely happy with that. And I'm looking forward to riding him on the weekend.
I guess visually the most impressive part of his race, on the back of what was a relatively sedate tempo, was the final sort of furlong and even after the line. How impressed were you with what he was able to do in that race? Small field, slower pace. He did finish off very nicely, didn't he?
Yeah, I was very impressed. And what impressed me the most is his finishing. We raced 2,400 metres. I know we went a bit slow, but he had a much more acceleration than any other horse in the race at the finishing. So that's what you would like from a horse, stepping up in distance and on rising as he seems to be.
How much of importance is placed on barrier in a race like this, Joe? You're in gate number 2.
Well, honestly, 2,400 meters is not that important, but he always wants to be drawing the inside. So I'm extremely happy to get the gate number 2. He should have every chance to place anywhere he wants to be from that gate, and he should have every chance from there.
I took the liberty of looking up your record in this race, Joe. Now, it's a bit of a glaring omission from your CV that you've never won this. Columbus County second last year, obviously Eagle Way a couple of times, has run top 4. Savvy 9 was 4th a couple of years ago as well. I mean, this would be a nice one to tick off, wouldn't it? I mean, it's got a rich history, this race.
Yeah, it's as you said, it's the only race that I haven't won in Hong Kong, and hopefully it's this time. I'm really keen to get this tick on the box.
There you go, and he's got a big chance, that I imagine. We talk about Russian Emperor in the rain, but he wouldn't probably mind it either, Senor Toba, given the nature of that win in the Queen Mother. We'll have a look at the QE2, which is the main form line, I think, coming into this. Certainly we've got the motor runners coming out of it. Tourbillon Diamond, he finishes in second behind Romantic Warrior. There's no Romantic Warrior to worry about here, though. Of the others, Panfield from the back runs third. Kaiying Star close to the pace. He runs in 4th place. Russian Emperor in 5th, had a tough trip. We've got Columbus County down there on the inside, eventually 6th. Zabrowski, the stablemate, in 7th, rode him forward this day, and Reliable Team, who's up on the pace here, Tom, weekends out to run 8th.
Yeah, and I think it'd be a shock if he was sort of to run top 3 here at Reliable Team. Zabrowski might not be the worst. Now, what happened with Russian Emperor in this race was he was keen in the early stages, and then he got sort of flushed out wide from about the 1,100 metres or so. So he had a little excuse, and he'd missed some work going into this Paul. He's failed over 2,400 metres in the UK. He's failed over 2,400 metres here. So I'm going to take a little stand against him here. Yeah,
look, I've included him, especially if there's rain on the day, because we know that he does go better with that wet track. But I did like the run of Panfield here. Last year's winner, this is 2000, of course, up to 2,400 metres. He was doing his best work really late, and he managed to get his head in there for 3rd as well. Yeah, and there's very little between them right across there. Should have pointed out, Russian Emperor not wearing the blinkers. They come off. Yeah. The shadow roll goes on, so hopefully that'll help him settle and get the trip as well. Here he is at the trials, still wearing the headgear, but he won't pull on race day. Russian Emperor. Yeah, so we had this nice little trial leading into this as well. The shadow roll will go back on him in this contest as well. Look, he's a horse that has looked really good this season. Like, he did win that race, obviously, on a really wet track, but don't forget he did run second in the Derby on a good track, and albeit should have just about won that. So he's not even in picture shot here at the moment, but he will appear, and just keep an eye on him after the line as the camera zooms out to grab him at the back there. The best bit of this trial was late, and he's performed well in these trials, and then he has gone on performed on race day as well once he's had those trials down the straight, but he's given a good hit out past the line here next to Packing Victory there in the blue and the white colours, but stretching out nicely at the end there, Andrew. Yeah, it's only a sprint trip, and he's a couple of that's lucky out in front, isn't it? It was a pretty handy sprint himself. So I think there's a little bit in that trial. I'll stick with him. Here's Panfield, though, one of the main dangers. This is him trialling on the turf as well, Tom. Yeah, and he's trialled up well enough. He's come into this race with that handy run last time out, not beaten too far, and he was just off the pace here in the trial, but he's run through the line pretty well, but he has been asked over the final stages. Last year in this race, Paul, he sat a lot closer. He was 1 back, 1 out. Do they sit a bit closer with him this time round? I think just from the draw, they might just go back a little bit with him from barrier number 7, get that cover. I mean, it's not a big field, is it? So he's not going to be too far away, I wouldn't have thought. All right, still on the turf. This was a trial over the 1,600 metres, and we've got the stablemates here, Columbus County, who wins the trial, and Zabrowski, who plots a course through to run second to him, Paul. He certainly does, and now Columbus County in this race last year pulled a shoe at about the 300 metres, so that certainly wasn't ideal for him when he was narrowly beaten into a second placing. But here over the mile, they were both back in the field, the two stablemates, Columbus County and Zabrowski, and they've both gone to the line pretty well here over the final stages, Paul. And they Columbus County has sort of peaked at around this time of the year, and there was nothing wrong with Zabrowski. Maybe ridden cold was better for him. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it didn't work last time and they go back. He has mixed his profile, that's for sure. The thing with Columbus County is, I mean, this is his distance. He's one pace, isn't he? So 2,400 metres is the right distance for him.
Yeah, both good chances. You'd imagine the stable favourite would be, or number one string would be Senor Toba, but we'll see how it plays out. He is favourite at this stage, Paul, Senor Toba.
Yeah, he's in. I just think they're peaking Panfield at the right time for this race. He did win it nicely last year. He's a real star, so he's on top for me, Panfield. Russian Emperor, look, the two Group 1 winners I've got on top, so they are the class horses here. Senor Toba's a young horse coming through the grades, come through the 4-year-old series. Look, Butterfield, I don't think he's out of it. Set weights here, he'll get back and he'll hit the line strongly enough, but around the top 3 there, 4, 1, 9 and 6.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Senor Toba here over the 2,400 metres. We know how good that 4-year-old series form has been, and he comes out of a couple of those races. Good win winning the Queen Mother Memorial Cup, and actually on the rain-affected ground last time out, he actually showed a little bit of zip in the straight where quite often he's looked very one pace. So Senor Toba over Panfield. Columbus County went close in this race last year. I think he's sort of found the right race again. And Tourbillon Diamond, he wasn't too far away. We know he's got some 2,400 metre form through the AJC Derby. So 9, 4, 5 and 3.
I think it's a very even contest, but I would be surprised if it wasn't Russian Emperor, Panfield or Senor Toba who didn't win. Keep my fingers crossed and rain. I'll go with Russian Emperor. All right, still got one more really good race to come up. That's the Sha Tin Vase. We'll look at that next, plus all the best bets. That's still to come. Hong Kong racing heads to Sha Tin on Sunday for the final Group 1 of the season. That's the Standard Charter Champions and Chater Cup. We've looked at that. Now we're going to look at the main race on the undercard, which is the Sha Tin Vase. Group 3, 1,200 metres, so a handicap. Skyfield won the sprint on International Day. Shoulders the 133. But Lucky Patch is second up from a long break because he fell on International Day. Hot King Prawn, last year's champion sprinter. A lot of these horses coming out of the Chairman Sprint Prize last time out. Till you get right down to the bottom, we've got California Deep Shot, Cordyceps 6 and Nervous Witness all coming up in class. A Nervous Witness tackling the 1,200 metres for the first time as well. So the weight's important. We'll take a little bit of a deeper dive on that in a second. But first up, Tom, we'll have a look at the speed map. A Nervous Witness, well, he's got lots of speed over 1,000. I suppose they use it here over the 1,200 as well, don't they?
You'd say they would. Varg de Borges riding here might put up a pound over, but he's got all that speed, as to does Lucky Patch. He might get a good run through from gate number 1. Computer Patch, as we've seen, Paul, he's not totally won by dimensional anymore. He ran pretty well last start.
He did. He was set just off the pace, didn't he? And still ran well. So Success has drawn wide, so he'll need a bit of luck. And Hot King Prawn, he'll be one that'll try and get some cover. Unfortunately, he's drawn pretty wide. Look, the horses like Cordyceps 6 and Skyfield, who I think are a couple of the main chances, they'll go back and they'll want some good pace from Nervous Witness. And I think he will try and stretch them out.
Yeah, so probably two of the main chances. We've got top weight and bottom weight possibly whipping the field in. But that's where we'll start in actual fact with one of the genuine Group 1 horses in the field, and that is Skyfield and his trainer, Casper Founds, right after, Tom. We've looked at the previous winners. Yes, Courier Wonder won this race last year and did it in good style as well. The Courier Wonder, just a 3-year-old little giant, shouldered the big weight. And Kellen Murray on the board there as well with Lucky Year a few years ago. All right, there you go. OK, Casper's been waiting patiently for us, and we can hear from him now.
Casper, Skyfield, one of your stable stars, will line up on Sunday afternoon. How is he?
He's extremely well, actually. He's in great nick. Yeah, looking forward to the race. Obviously, handicap conditions, carrying 133. It's always tough in Hong Kong, you know, when you've got these up-and-coming sprinters. Richard Gibson's horse looks the one off 113, and David Hayes is receiving weight off me with his horse as well. So they look to be the two toughest ones to crack, but we've carried weight before. He's in great nick, and he'll be running a big race for sure.
The thinking behind the hood, Casper, he wears the hood this weekend.
Yeah, we keep it on this time. He's a bit more chilled out now, and I think he was good in his work the other day, so we said we'll leave it on. Normally we just put the parade hood on him, but leave this on and see how we go.
Just on his recent work as well, I thought it a fascinating combination. He galloped with Senor Toba.
Yeah, well, sometimes we just got to go with what partners we got, you know. And we both had the access to the grass, and he needed a nice hit out, as did Senor Toba, so it worked out really good, even though one's going for half his distance, so that's Indeed. The way you train horses, mate.
Are you happy where he's drawn? He's in gate number 2.
Yeah, he's all right. He'll get a good run from there.
And just talking of obviously carrying weight, it's not unheard of for this race. I think a couple of top weights have won this race down through the past. Captain Sweet and Little Giant, I think, were a couple, so it's not impossible. And last year, he ran a very good race in this, didn't he?
Yeah, it's not impossible. Look, he's a quality animal. But like I said, when you're giving away, for me, I'd respect Mr. Gibson's horse the most, really. You know, that 20 points is a lot of weight for a horse that he still hasn't reached his true potential.
And I know I don't want us to get too carried away, but obviously you were quoted in the press as saying that, you know, there's possibly the chance that he might get a few stamps in his passport, this horse. Is that very much the plan going forward still?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
And Japan would be where you have him
Well,
on?
we'd look at everywhere. Japan, Australia, Dubai, you know. Hopefully the world's starting to open up, and hopefully Hong Kong gets on the bandwagon and gets the head out from where it should be, and we'll be in the right spot.
He could be a very exciting horse to do all that travelling with, couldn't he?
I think so, yeah.
Exciting then, as far as Skyfield and the future's concerned, but probably exciting for him on the weekend as well. But Casper highlighting that the dangers might come from lower down in the weights, Tom, and we've got here, well, we'll have a look at the Chairman's Sprint Prize again, because it's almost a rerun without the winner in Wellington. Do they finish in the same sort of order, or is there a chance of some change?
Well, Computer Patch, he keeps running some decent races at big odds. I must admit I was a little disappointed, Paul, with how sort of Sight Success performed in this race, because there was a lot of market confidence for him, and he just never really found that much in the straight. I couldn't find too many excuses for him.
No, and he's drawn awkwardly as well. Look, I've put Computer Patch in because the horse is going really well at the moment. I thought it was a good, strong run from him, and he fought on really nicely. Look, Lucky Patch, the other horse that was the form horse going into the international, he had that fall, and look, he just doesn't look the same horse for me, so he doesn't go in, Lucky Patch.
Yeah, super well for you. A little bit unlucky, got held up in the run. Hot King Prawn, you could probably argue the same. This, Paul, though, is Cordyceps 6, just switching to the outside. He doesn't win, but he's got a great record so far. He looks very dangerous.
He does, doesn't he? And at the weights, it's a race that really suits him. They picked out a really good race for him here. He comes in with us 113 pounds. I guess to give Skyfield, who's the class horse, 120. So, look, I think he's the one to beat.
So do I. He run home here in 22.07, so he's put up some pretty good sectionals for this race. Has Cordyceps 6. You can see he's had 5 wins from his 11 starts. This season he's won 4 of his 8 starts, and he's only just a 3-year-old, Andrew.
Yeah, exactly. So there's still more to come. And off the weights, it may well be getting 20 pounds off the likes of Skyfield could be enough. But having said that, Tom, so does Nervous Witness.
Yeah, the thing I'm not convinced about is 1,200 metres. He's got a lot of early speed, but whether he's got the stamina in the end to see it out here. He was up near the pace, couldn't lead on this occasion because Classic Unicorn did poorly, did cast a plate as well, so might have been a little excuse, but I've got question marks about 1,200. Yeah,
he hasn't raced over the 1,200 before, has he? He's always a 1,000-metre horse. He is a free roller. It's just, I've got him there on a very minor line, just in case he can. Look, you can see the weights really suit a horse like him in Cordyceps 6, don't they?
Yeah, 5 wins from that sort of bracket, 119 down to 115. There might have been the odd 113 there in the weights as well, but lightweights tend to prevail in these sort of handicap races.
Yeah, so it looks like, you know, the class horses win, or it's the horses that still have rating points in hand. Back at the trials, though, Tom, anything to report here?
Yeah, well, Lucky Patch and Duke Y here. Duke Y was a winner a couple of runs ago on the all-weather. Lucky Patch, there was a fair bit of market support for him first up. Here he is second up. He's placed second up in the past. Francis Lloyd's sort of saying, Paul, he might be about 70-75% fit.
Yeah, that looks the case. He was pushed out in this trial. And Duke Y, I don't know if he's totally up to this class. So those 2 horses, they don't go in for me. No.
All right. Still at the trials, though, Paul, with Sight Success and Hot King Prawn. I thought you looked good this morning.
Yeah, a good trial. He's just got this awkward draw. He's going to have to need a bit of luck. He's going to try and get some cover, I think, wide. And as Tom said, Sight Success was a little bit disappointing last time, and another one with a wide draw. So, again, these 2 don't go in.
Yeah, they don't go in for me either. We know all the class at Hot King Prawn has got Sight Success. A 5-year-old who's won 7 of his 18 starts. But, yeah, his run didn't convince me at all last start.
All right. I don't want to rule out Hot King Prawn. A big effort to win, but I still think he deserves his place, maybe on a mine line. At this stage, Paul, we're saying Cordyceps 6 the favourite.
Yeah, look, so I'm going to go with Cordyceps 6. I think the horse is a young horse. He's come in at the right weights under the handicap conditions. Skyfield's a class horse. That's why he's got that big weight to carry. The hood goes on as an interesting gear change for me as well. It might just make him a little bit more relaxed as he comes down. Computer Patch, he's going so well. And look, Nervous Witness, there is that unknown about the 1,200, but he's going to be out in front and out of trouble. 10, 1, 3 and 11.
Yeah, with a really light weight, I do like Cordyceps 6 here. He looks a really exciting 3-year-old for Richard Gibson. Alexi Bedell rides super wealthy, bit unlucky last time out. He's been poking up in a few of these races recently. Skyfield, and I will throw in Lucky Patch at a bigger price there for multiples. 10, 5, 1 and 2.
I got the same top 3 as Tom, just throwing Hot King Prawn in there as well for good measure. Right, there's 10 races. There's 11 races on the card. So, Paul, the bonus one, give us the winners.
Look, in the first race, it was Circuit 9 was very, very impressive when he did win the Griffin. I can't see anything overturning that he raced against. I quite like Horse Good All Is Good, second up. I thought he trialled really well leading into his race, and he was wide the whole way. Amazing Victory gets a really nice draw, ready to win, I think, and is ready to win and can win his race as well. And Royal Bomb, he's had a lot of placings. I think he can top it up for a win. And Eternal Bloom's got a good draw.
All right. Remember, of course, you can find a preview for all of those in the audio-video section of the website. Of those then, Paul, who was the best?
Got to go with Eternal Bloom, the last horse I mentioned. He's drawn absolutely perfectly, and all 3 runs have been really good here in Hong Kong. I think he's got plenty of rating points in hand, and all is good. We'll take a chance with him. I think he can go and sit outside the leader and not get a hard run as he did on the all-weather on his debut. And we'll put him in the play with 2 of the favourites in the race, which will be Lucky's Victory Scholars and Double Show. 1-5-11 QQP.
One of the races we've highlighted on the show, race 9, the sprint race, Cordyceps 6 for Richard Gibson and Alexi Bedell with 1-1-3 on his back. I think he can prevail. Value run at race 4, number 7, Sure Joyful, was only beaten a length last start at a bigger price. Ricky Yu and Vincent Ho, and the play in the other of the main races, Panfield, Columbus County, Senor Tova for the QQP.
All right, let's go outside the main races, but Beauty Live from a good draw. Joe Moreira back, of course, from suspension. I think he can have a good day. And Nebula, he's a work in progress. It'll be a big price. It'll be a good effort to win, but he's getting there and he goes up in trip. We've got Beauty Live, Golden Empire and Oriental Smoke as the QQP in race number 8. All right, there we go. Looking forward to the weekend, Tom. And, well, Panfield actually still might be not done after the weekend. He could be heading to Japan at the end of the
No, Tony Millard has sort of suggested that, so we'll see how he performs in the final of the 12 Group 1s for the season, Paul.
Yeah, and Casper's keen to travel with Skyfield as well, so there could be a couple of horses travelling out of this meeting.
Absolutely, and if you go to Hong Kong Direct this week, you've got a behind-the-scenes look with Tony Millard, Nick, at Panfield as well, so that's well worth tuning in for. But that's the show. Thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll see you on Sunday for the final Group 1 of the season. We will be racing to win.